we're getting down to the final components now. All that we've got left, apart from the final finishing, is the flywheel, the eccentric straps and their associated rods, and the forks, and we've just got the little forward and reverse lever mechanism, which is this piece here, and these are the eccentric straps. So today I'm going to make a start on the straps. I should hopefully complete them both in this video, and maybe this piece. We'll see how the time goes, and then I will be devoting a separate video to the flywheel. Now the eccentric straps I'm going to make out of this piece of 1.5 by 1/2 inch piece of brass that I've had laying around for some time by the look of it. So I'm going to get a couple of bits cut off of this and we'll make a start on these. Right, the first task is to get the thickness down to 8mm. I've got nearly 13, so I've got quite a bit to come off there. So I'm going to bring back the cutter that I slated, the 2-inch cutter. I've got some different inserts in it, and I'm fingers crossed, I think it'll be alright on a brass. I've tried it out on aluminium and it works great, so I'm going to give it a go on the brass. Right, let's give it a go, see how it works out. I have to say that this cutter produces a lovely finish on the brass. I'm really impressed with that now compared to on steel. I've got some aluminium cutters in there and it's producing very nice results. It's a lovely finish on there. I'm really impressed with that. So right speed, right cutters, and I think that tool's going to work. Well, for certain metals anyway. Come out quite nice, down to the 8mm now. So what I'm going to do, just square the ends off, and then I'm going to drill the holes for the eccentrics to go in. I'm going to drill the holes now rather than cut them off, because that'll give me a little bit more to clamp on. What I don't want to do is get the outside all cut and then they're very thin and I'm clamping on them, squeezing them up, making the holes an irregular shape. So that's the plan. I've got it set up now. I've got to drill a series of holes. I've got to end up at 24mm. Well, I haven't got a drill bit that big, so I think the biggest I've got might be 20, so I'm going to try and go through this up till 20 and then I'll do the rest, finish it off with the boring bar. got those cut out now. I'm just going to whip this out, deburr those, and I'm going to cut off to size now. As you can see, the reason I wanted to cut this out, the holes out, before I as you can see, the reason I wanted to cut the holes out before I cut it down is because I'd have only been left with two little pieces like this either side, and the clamping forces would have caused it to squidge in a little bit. So I'm now going to cut it off and then mill them back to size. Right, just get these cleaned up and then we'll put the chamfers on, or take the corners off. Right, there we are, ready to take the corners off. I decided to make a little side project. I haven't got any 45-degree angle blocks, I've only got a 30 and a 15. When I'm trying to set up the eccentric straps, it's just flopping about all over the place trying to hold the two in position. So I've just done a little side project, just made myself up a little 45-degree angle block. I've just marked up the shape with some scribe lines. I'm probably just going to knock the corners off on the bandsaw and then just fine mill off the rest of it. So I don't think I'll bother showing the bandsaw stuff. I think everybody knows how to mill a corner off on a bandsaw, for goodness sake. But I'll come back and show you the milling stuff. Not that you don't know the milling stuff either, but it's a little bit more interesting than the bandsaw. These angles, all these angles milled up now. Go. Couple of the sheaves finished. M3, M3, M4, M4. One's to take the rod and one's to take the little guide grub screw. I've got it set up in the mill now. I'm going to drill a 3.3 hole for M4 thread. Put a little stop on so I can just flip it over, do the other end, and the same with this one. So I've centre found everything, both directions, X and Y, so it should be quite a straightforward little operation just to get these little threads in there. So I'm going to do all the little drilling operations first and then come back and tap the threads in. Now going to make the two forks. It's a piece of 10mm by 10mm steel. It's got the dimension this way of 10mm, but this one isn't showing a dimension from that elevation, so I'm going to assume that's 10mm. Looks like 10 meters will cover all of the holes, etc. So I'm going to make that out of some 10 by 10. I'll make a couple of them out of probably one piece and work on either end, so I'll be able to then use the end stop in the mill to give a little bit of concentricity between the two parts. Not that that's important, I'll just make it easier for me for the milling. Right, I'm going to nibble the slot out down to 10mm deep. I'm going to flip that round now and drill these two holes for these two pins. I'm going to pass the cutter through here now just to flatten out the bottom. You've got a tiny bit of damage from that catch, but that'll be okay by the time I put the round and everything on. So anyway, I need to set up the rotary table now just to do the little rounds. Right, just going to skim these down to size now. I've got them cut off. These are the fork ends. So I've got them cut off. Just going to skim the tops off there, clean them up, and then put the chamfers on them. Right, I decided to shape them on the belt sander rather than try and find the angles on the mill, so I've got those all to shape and dimension and everything now. All I need to do is just put the threads in the end for the rods to connect them. Go. Threads in. Those two parts are complete. It's just the rods left to make, which is, oops, just got this rod and this rod left to make. This one's fairly straightforward. It's just got a thread on either end. It's got an M3 thread on that end, which I didn't really like, so I'm going to M4 both ends of the rod. I can't see the need for such a tiny thread on there. And similarly with this one, but this one's got to be angled. So let's find a little bit of 4mm and get these rods made up. That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. I would also appreciate it if you would click the subscribe button, because that will enable me to grow the channel so that I can keep making these videos. Please leave a comment or a question. I do read all of the comments and reply to as many as I can. Thanks for watching.